Arena on the campus of Central Michigan University. Side of this afternoon's Class C State Girls Basketball Championship. We've already crowned 2 champions here today, and we're getting ready to crown another as the Detroit Communicating Arts and Media Arts Pharaohs take on the Saints of St. Ignace, the defending state champions in Class C. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Dan Dickerson, and we're joined today by someone who knows a little something about playing in the state finals, Jolynn Schneider, who has played here twice with Harper Woods Regina. And Jolynn, what a matchup today. 2 teams that love to run, love to play end-to-end. And let's start with St. Ignace. This is a team that has a girl in Mandy Johnson who has led this team after her sister was the team leader a year ago.
Oh, this defending state championship, Mandy Johnson has assumed the leadership role. Not only does she average 16 points a game, but she gets her teammates involved. She works hard defensively. She's got active hands. She works hard baseline to baseline. She not only can she do well offensively, defensively, but she gets the whole team involved.
She really does, and she says she continues to talk with her sister, Randy, who has gone on to college at Lake Superior State. She says she talks to her almost every day, and that's really helped her assume the leadership role on this team. Now, the thing that we're going to see a lot today, pressing from both teams. And the press for St. Ignace is tremendous, one of the best anywhere.
Oh, an absolutely fantastic press. The reason these players know how to rotate so well is they have done this press since their freshman year. They're in position, they get the ball, great sealed, great hands, and they really understand the concept of pressing.
How good is this press? Well, they've caused almost 1,000 turnovers this year using their press in just 26 games, almost 40 a game, which is tremendous. Now, the key player for Detroit to handle this press is Ryan Coleman.
Ryan Coleman is the key to the Pharaohs' win. If she can handle the ball and penetrate the press, the Pharaohs are going to be victorious. Ryan Coleman, fantastic player. Offensively, averages 18 points, and she averages 6 assists. She gets her teammates involved. She is really one of the best players in the state. A lot of fun to watch.
11th in the Miss Basketball voting, and I don't think St. Ignace has seen anybody like her all year long. We're looking forward to the matchup. It's going to be a good one. High octane as well. We'll be back with the starting lineups right after these words on Fox Sports Net.
Singing of our national anthem featuring Wendy Hoyle, a member of the women's basketball team and a senior at Mount Pleasant High School.
Broad stripes and bright stars.
Check, check. Where's my volume? Check, 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 check.
Yes.
Check, 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 check. And welcome back, everyone. Dan Dickerson along with Joe Schneider as we get ready for the Class C Finals, the MHSAA Finals on Fox Sports Net. Brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, making your future more predictable, and by Little Caesars. Right now, let's get the starting lineups. And for that, we go to our PA announcer, Joe Mitchell.
Is a way of life. And now, let's meet the starting lineups for today's game between the visiting team Pharaohs of Detroit Communications and Media High School and the home team Saints of St. Ignace High School. For the Pharaohs, at forward, number 00, 5'10" senior Deshauna Huskins. For St. Ignace, at forward, number 40, 5'8" senior Aaron Mercer. For the Pharaohs at forward, number 30, 5'10" senior Mia Simpson. And for the Saints at forward, number 44, 5 foot 8 inch junior, Mandy Johnson. At center for the Pharaohs, number 42, 6 foot 1 inch senior, Sakima Smith. And for the Saints at center, number 32, 5 foot 8 inch senior, Emily Evashevsky. At one guard for the Pharaohs, number 10, 5 foot 8 inch senior, Tanae Lewis. For the Saints at guard, number 22, 5 foot 8 inch freshman, Krista Clement. And for the Pharaohs at guard, number 20, 5 foot 9 inch senior, Ryan Coleman. And for St. Ignace at guard, number 24, 5 foot 6 inch senior, Carolyn Getson.
And the head coach of Detroit CMA, the Pharaohs, is James Rogers in his second year. Pretty good coaching record, 35-10. And for St. Ignace, also in her second year, it's Doreen Engels with an incredible 51-2 record as head coach of the Saints. Doreen Engels and her Saints rolled to the state championship title a year ago, and they are rolling again through the playoffs this year. Let's look at the road to the finals, which is brought to you by Little Caesars, Detroit CMA. Kawama Westphalia win in the semifinals after beating Maple City, and St. Ignace really has rolled the entire time. Their average margin of victory, 24 points a game. We're ready for the opening tip, and it's controlled by Detroit CMA. We're underway in the Girls State High School Class C Basketball Championship. Saints will play a zone defense. Coleman takes it baseline, gets it back outside. Samika Smith, shot off the back of the rim, rebounded by the Pharaohs. Now inside is Tanae Lewis. She loses the ball inside, and jump ball, possession arrow is going the Saints' way.
Good defense by the Saints on this opening possession.
Joe, is it safe to say they have not seen pressure like this all year long, like the pressure they're going to see from Detroit?
You know, they're going to see, I'm sure they saw different types of pressure all year long, but I don't know that they've seen a team that can scramble press as well as the Saints.
Mercer trapped in backcourt, and there it is, a 10-second call. So this is a team, as we mentioned, that causes a lot of turnovers, and right away a taste of their own medicine. Pharaohs causing the early turnover here. Lewis driving the lane, dishes it off to Coleman, who'll back it out. What a smooth player Ryan Coleman is. She gets it inside, the ball knocked away.
Here you see the great defensive prowess of Mandy Johnson. We talked about it at the tip. Look at her coast to coast. Fantastic.
That's what we were talking about. And now the pressure, and easily Detroit CMA breaks the pressure. Spinning in the lane, Samika Smith.
Oh my, that was a big-time move. Big-time move by Samika.
Now the Saints back the other way. Samika Smith is a player who has just slowly but surely gotten better and better through her high school years, and her coach thinks she's going to be really good in college. Missed shot by Mandy Johnson, rebounded by the Pharaohs. Here they come again. Ryan Coleman will lay it off glass. Krista Clement, who was one of the key people on this team in terms of breaking the pressure, ball handling skills. She is just a freshman, and she doesn't play like one at all.
Mandy Johnson, just a great athlete. She can take the ball. She got that rebound, came down, finished the bucket with 2 points. Ryan Coleman, same thing for the Pharaohs. She's able to play hard defensively, create her own action, able to go from baseline to baseline to score.
So the two key players we talked about right up top are playing a big role early here in the girls' Class C finals. Turnover again by the Saints. The Pharaohs will inbound the ball underneath their own basket. Doreen Engels took over 2 years ago, as we mentioned, and when she did, she implemented this system of pressure defense and coast-to-coast basketball, and her team absolutely loves it. But it was a big change from the style the Saints have been playing before. Oh, what a pass!
Tanae Lewis.
Bucket by Hoskins, but it was Tanae Lewis with a no-look behind the head. Clement at the other end hits.
Well, this
And
is
a
just
foul.
great basketball. This is great basketball on both ends of the floor. The Saints are very aggressive. They know how to take the ball to the bucket.
2 fouls early on Deshauna Hoskins, and that is not a player they can afford to lose for any amount of time. She had 14 rebounds to go with 7 points in the semis. 6-5 ball game. Now Ryan Coleman in the backcourt facing pressure, but breaks it. And here come the Pharaohs. In the lane to Coleman, ball knocked out of her hands, and it's Saints ball going back the other way.
It looked like it went off Ryan Coleman's hip. That was a great aggressive play by the Pharaohs, but again, great defense by the Saints.
That's what we're seeing early, that even when Detroit can pound it inside, St. Ignace has those quick hands to knock it away.
Absolutely. Here
comes Mandy Johnson in the lane. Running one-hander will not go. Put back is blocked. Now Mercer gets it. Bounce stolen. Mercer has it. Scoop shot won't go. Clement with a rebound. Can't get it to go, but she drew the foul.
Both teams are playing with such great intensity.
Talking with Doug Engels earlier today, he said, you know what? He is the assistant coach for St. Ignace and the husband of Doreen Engels. He said, this game may not be pretty today, but it will be exciting throughout the day. You will see turnovers. You will see some passes thrown away, but that's just the style of these two teams. 8-6, the defending champion St. Ignace Saints with the lead now. And Krista Clement hits again. Lewis breaks the pressure across midcourt. Looking right side for Samika Smith, and we have a travel.
Both teams are attacking the basket. They're both aggressive, taking the ball to the hole. And you got to love that in a state championship game.
Wide open, other end, lay in for Kate Ruiz, who is in the game. Knocked away by Mandy Johnson. Still Detroit ball, but now it's a 5-point lead for the Saints. See the great pass there and the open look, and that's what happens when St. Ignace breaks the press as easily as they do. They're on a 9-0 run right now. Lewis between the circles now, guarded by Mercer, probably one of the best defensive players the Saints have, along with Carolyn Getson. The ball knocked away and retrieved in backcourt by Coleman. Coleman now driving into the lane, backs it back out. Good job by Mercer one-on-one. Shot misses off the front of the rim, and Mercer grabs the rebound. Saints always looking to push the ball. Here's Clement again with another bucket. Krista Clement, what an opening period she's having. Detroit back the other way. And the ball goes out of bounds. It will be, I believe, still Detroit ball.
The Saints are really aggressive. They are taking the ball hard to the basket like they've been instructed. And here you see Krista Clement, left hand, finishes the basket. Well coached by Doreen Engels. This team has looked at film of the Pharaohs, and they are executing the game plan to perfection.
Not bad for a freshman.
Not bad, that's right.
She's going to get a breather, and that's one thing St. Ignace will do, run players in and out. They go 10 deep on their bench. Detroit CMA does not have that kind of depth. Ryan Coleman picks up her dribble, and she's in trouble, looking for some help. Now gets it from Hoskins, and a whistle and a foul on the baseline, and that will go against the Saints. 3:55 to go in the first half. It's an 11-0 run that's given St. Ignace a 13-6 lead. We're back with more after these words. Who has drawn a lot of motivation, as has her team this year, from her mother. Gail Archambault is here today with her husband, Emery. She has been battling brain cancer, a very serious form of brain cancer. And for a while, it didn't look like Doreen would be back, but it says her mother has kept her going.
Her positive attitude has just, really blended off and gotten onto me, and so I'm taking a positive attitude, and, I'm not gonna, you can take and sit there and be sad and depressed, and there's times that happens, but, you gotta just squeeze everything you can out of life, and that's what these kids, that's how they play basketball. They squeeze everything out of life. It's been a big, life lesson for everybody.
And there is a shot of her mother, and it really is an amazing story, Joe. She was in a wheelchair for a long time, progressed to a walker, then a cane. Now she's driving a car again. She is still battling it. She's still undergoing chemotherapy. But Gail Archambault is here today, and it is a huge lift, Doreen says, every time she sees her in the arena.
Oh, absolutely. Doreen did not think that her mother would be able to make the trip down. But she's here, and it's just a great story.
And she's seeing her daughter's team on an 11-0 run open up a 7-point lead. Samika Smith has answered back with a bucket to cut the lead to 5. Here's a shot knocked out of bounds. Good work defensively from behind by Tanea Lewis. St. Ignace has not played a lot of games that were close under Doreen Engels. Only 4 times have they played a game that ended with a final margin less than 22 points. Here's a shot that's off the back of the rim. So today, Joe, if they're in a game, I think Doreen and her husband, Doug, curious to see how they respond in the 4th quarter.
It will be interesting. I think these Saints are well prepared. As we took a look at Doreen Engels, she has cards to signal to the team in the event that the crowd's too loud and the game is close.
Here comes Clement again into the lane. Puts the shot up, won't get it, but she'll be going back to the free throw line. Krista Clement, as we mentioned, a freshman. This team has 3 seniors in its starting lineup. Detroit CMA is a senior-laden team. We mentioned they don't go especially deep on the bench. Coach James Rogers working with an all-senior starting lineup, and he said that really showed in a number of games this year. This was a team that played a very tough schedule. First shot by Clement is missed. They lost 3 of their first 4 games, Joe, but look who they were playing. They were playing teams like Detroit Country Day and Lansing Everett in the finals in Class A today. So this is a team that went out and played some very good teams, and he thinks that helped down the road.
Oh, sure. They're definitely battle-tested, and the senior leadership is going to be critical come the last few minutes of the game.
Clement makes 1 of 2. The lead is 6, 14-8 with 3 to go in the first quarter. Ball out of bounds, and it will stay Detroit's ball.
Well, Tanea Lewis had no problem breaking that press. She just, in her exuberance, bounced the ball off her teammate's chest, but actually the ball's going to the Pharaohs.
In the semifinals against Niles, St. Ignace forced 51 turnovers, 30 in the first half. Here's Samika Smith. That's a beautiful move right by Mandy Johnson for the lay-in. Here's Mandy Johnson driving the lane. Got hit pretty good as she went up. She'll be going to the free throw line. Samika Smith across the face of Mandy Johnson. Now checking in, Holly Cole, and if you want a long-range threat, this is it, Holly Cole. And
boy, she is the secret weapon.
Isn't she?
She is the X factor. Last year she came out in the state title game and just nailed some key 3-point shots, and such poise for a young player.
16 points in the second half of the semifinals, 5 of 7 on 3-pointers. And Holly will check out of the game. Aaron Mercer back into the game. But Holly Cole is a player to watch because she is someone who can light it up at any time and is fearless shooting from any spot on the floor. Now Mandy Johnson's second free throw is good as well. She hits them both, and the St. Ignace lead is back to 6. 7 is their biggest lead of the day. Once again, Farrells break the press with ease and score at the other end to cut the lead to 4.
You know, Dan, it's just what we talked about at the top of the broadcast. Ryan Coleman with that poise against the press. The press is the Saints' weapon, and Ryan Coleman seems to be having no trouble breaking that press.
Farrells' defensive pressure causing a turnover, and Farrells can't quite control it. They thought they had, and you hear the crowd getting on the referees a little bit. But the Saints will get the ball back.
I think both coaches have really done their homework on these matchups. They know each other well. They know their opponent.
Jessica Corbett with a good defensive play for Detroit that time. Now Clement across midcourt. Ryan Coleman on her. That's a good matchup. Mandy Johnson now top of the key. Coleman will take her. Johnson spins in the lane, picks up her dribble, and hands it off to her teammate Mercer. Her shot will not go. Mercer, good hustle under the boards, keeps it alive for Clement, who will hit it.
Mercer's a great athlete. You saw that scoop shot, and she stayed with it, got the rebound, and Krista Clement came in and finished it off. Good teamwork by the Saints.
Lewis at the other end with a nice running jumper that goes. 18-14 pace of this game, everything we thought it would be. There's Holly Cole looking for her shot, didn't have it. Now you have it in the hands of the player you want, Mandy Johnson, but she missed the layup and the ball goes out of bounds. It will be Farrell's ball, I believe. Mandy Johnson really struggled in the semifinals, uncharacteristically, Joe. 1 of 11 shots in the first half, finished 2 of 13, but she's still 9 points, 9 rebounds, and she contributes, as we've talked about, in other ways.
Absolutely. Again, she's a baseline to baseline player. She stays with you all game long. What I like about her is she's ambidextrous. She can go right and drive hard with her right hand, and she can do the same with her left hand.
Detroit has done a nice job breaking this press throughout the game, and they do it again here. Into the lane, shot up and good from Sakima Smith. And she is lighting things up early here for Detroit. Done a nice job on Ryan Coleman so far, but Smith has been a real weapon. Underneath, Mandy Johnson battling for the ball, and we've got a jump ball possession arrow going Detroit's way.
You know, the tempo of this game is really upbeat. At the moment, I think that favors the Saints because they're able to substitute players in and out. Here we just saw a substitution by the Saints, but Doreen Ingalls really works her bench.
She says she substitutes really by what goes on at the defensive end of the floor. If she thinks a player is a step slow or hasn't made the proper rotation on defense, she's going to get that player out. And she says that's when she usually knows someone's tired. Farrells with the ball. Smith driving left side of the lane will put up the running jumper. No, and Mandy Johnson has the rebound. Saints pushing the other way. Mercer will drive and miss the layup. Coleman is going to push it the other way for Detroit. 3-on-1. She's going to take it all the way and draw the foul. End-to-end basketball. We are in the first quarter, and it's 18-16.
It is end-to-end, baseline to baseline, both teams. The Saints are running, the Pharaohs are running. Here you see the leader, Ryan Coleman, taking that ball hard to the hoop, just like she's been trained as a youngster. That's what you want to do, is take the ball hard to the rim.
And once again, Doreen Ingalls will make some substitutions. She'll go about 10 deep on her bench. Detroit CMA probably only about 8 players deep, maybe 9. Coleman's second free throw bangs off the back of the rim, so it remains a 1-point lead for St. Ignace. Mandy Johnson hands it off to Krista Clement, the freshman. She's going to pull it out and do something we haven't seen a whole lot of, try to set a half-court offense. And it doesn't work very well with the defensive pressure of Detroit. Here comes Coleman into the lane. Shot will not go, and Mandy Johnson's there for the rebound. Long outlet pass, actually a shot attempted at the final buzzer, won't go, and a highly entertaining first quarter ends with St. Ignace on top of Detroit CMA 18-17. Can they keep this pace up? Both have vowed they will. We'll be back for the second quarter after these words. St. Ignace with a 1-point lead as we begin the second quarter. And Joe, the player in the first quarter, everybody was watching Krista Clement.
Krista Clement, freshman, playing on the varsity, starting in a state championship game. Look at the poise. She takes the ball in the hoop, drops it off to her teammates. She is not afraid. There's no freshmanitis here.
Somebody asked her the other day, what's it like playing here? Is it something that's intimidating at all as we see 10 points and perhaps best of all 4 or 5 free throws? Coaches like to see those free throws go in. We've seen a lot of misses here over the last couple of days. But she said no, she's just always looked forward to playing here. She's come down here to watch this game for a long time. And as soon as she got here, she felt very comfortable. Here's Holly Cole with a long-range gun from 3-point territory, won't go. And the Pharaohs now with a chance to retake the lead for the first time since early in this game. But the pressure of the St. Ignace Saints causes another turnover, and here comes Clement. Her shot won't go. Smith with a rebound. And Lewis across midcourt. Driving into the lane, Brandy Taylor looking down low for Deshauna Hoskins. Ball knocked out of bounds, but it will be Pharaoh's ball.
Krista Clement must have heard us talking about her. She came out hard, stole the ball, but the Pharaohs are just everywhere.
Lewis on the baseline will try a 15-footer, no good, and Mandy Johnson with a rebound. They'll push it ahead. Mercer has the ball knocked away. Did it go off her hands? Yes, it did. And Detroit gets it back, trailing by 1. Tanae Lewis looking for Sakima Smith to go long, and she does. She's a good target. Flip into the lane, goes off of Hoskins' hands, out of bounds. That's the way to break the press.
Absolutely, and the Pharaohs are aggressive breaking the press, and they're seeing one another. They are seeing the other purple jerseys, but they're just, it's like they have too much energy once they get to the basket, and the passes are just really bullets.
Do you picture St. Ignace backing out of this press at all, given how easily Detroit's been breaking it?
You know, that could be a change that we'll see in the second half.
Holly Cole had an open shot, declined to take it, and gets it back to Clement, who will back it out. Now drives left side. Jasmine Carey guarding her. We watched her the other day. She's got great speed and great moves as well. Pass stolen away by Detroit. Ball stolen in backcourt, but Mandy Johnson a little too physical with Jasmine Carey, who will be slow to get up, but I tell you, she is a fun player to watch.
Boy, the Saints are just swarming. There you see Krista Clement, and her teammate Mandy Johnson comes in a little bit hard on that foul, but nonetheless, the effort is there for the Saints, and really, this is what they're going to need to do. They have to stay aggressive throughout the entire game in order to be successful and win.
Carey okay comes across midcourt. She was looking for Lewis to break down the sideline, and she didn't. She threw it away. But you saw what we're talking about in terms of her ball handling skills. She can go behind the back, left hand, right hand, and she's going to be a very fun player to watch. She's just a freshman. Ball goes off of Mercer's hands, and it'll go out of bounds. So we've been stuck at 18-17 for a while. Score at the end of the first quarter. We're almost 2 minutes into the second quarter. Neither team has been able to score.
We're seeing a few more turnovers right now, and maybe that's fatigue. Maybe it's that the players are thinking a little bit more that this is the state title game.
Coleman across midcourt for Detroit CMA. They're making their first ever appearance in the Class C finals. St. Ignace, the defending Class C champions. Top of the key, Brandy Taylor now is going to take it to the hoop. Ball knocked out of bounds, and it will be Detroit ball.
Emily Evashevich stepped in defensively for the Saints. She had great position, and that is such a tough move. The timing on a block shot has to be precise, and Evie, as Coach Ingles calls her, her timing impeccable.
Shot missed by Hoskins, and the rebound grabbed off by Mandy Johnson, who has been pounding the board. That's 5 rebounds here in the first half. Her shot won't go, but she drew the foul off of Brandy Taylor.
That's a great aggressive offensive move. She felt the defense, she felt Brandy Taylor on her arm, and she still put up the shot.
Mandy Johnson will go to the free throw line. If the name Evashevsky sounds a little bit familiar, Emily Evashevsky is the granddaughter of Forrest Evashevsky. Coached at Michigan for the football team there, was head coach of the Iowa Hawkeye football team, and he is living in the UP still. Watching his granddaughter today, we understand. Johnson hits both free throws, 20-17 the lead now. And the Saints will stay in their press. You get the feeling, Joe, that whether it's being broken or not, that they'll stay in it just because it's what they do. And they can wear Detroit down, perhaps, by the end of the game.
You're right. It's what got them here. It's what they know. It's what they're used to. And tough to make that big of a change in this big of a game.
Wild shot by Smith, but to her credit, she follows the miss and puts it in.
Wow, I am so impressed with her. She is just all over the glass.
Back to a 1-point lead for St. Ignace. Block at the other end by Ryan Coleman.
Oh, that was a huge block. Fabulous play by Coleman. There we see her defensive prowess.
Dish inside goes out of bounds. And the Saints will get the ball back.
The Pharaohs, you know, we think of them offensively, but look at the defense. Ryan Coleman, we know she's a great offensive player, but here she's a great defensive player. Samika stays with the basketball. You know, she lost it, but stayed with it. And that's what really impresses me about this player is she's athletic and she stays with it. She's got heart.
The Saints with it and with the lead. Mandy Johnson's shot won't go, but she got a pretty good shove from behind. And Brandy Taylor, so she'll go back to the line. Coming down to 4:57 now to go in the first half. A lot of scoring, a lot of running in the first quarter, still a lot of running in the second quarter. We just haven't seen the scoring.
Are they going to run out of gas?
First free throw from Mandy Johnson goes. Brandy Taylor will take a seat. Back into the game for Detroit, Jessica Corbett. And again, Mandy Johnson hits them both. Michaela Kelso comes back in. And Johnson gets a breather. So now we are looking at basically the second team for St. Ignace, with the exception of Krista Clement.
Yeah, we said Doreen Ingalls is going to substitute, and she has. And that, we'll see. See how that'll play out in the fourth quarter.
Ema Smith's shot is no good. Follow no good. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be Detroit ball. Tanae Lewis to inbound the ball. This game has been close right from the get-go. An 11-0 run by St. Ignace in the first quarter gave them a 7-point lead, but it didn't last very long. A whistle and a foul underneath, and that will go against Detroit CMA. Corbett gets whistled for the foul. That's her first. And they're in the bonus, so we head to the other end. Aaron Mercer will check back into the game.
Be interesting to see how Doreen Ingalls uses the fact that now the Saints are in the bonus. That can be a great strategic tool for a coach.
And in the bonus with 4:40 to go in the second quarter. Kayla Kelso at the line. Makes the first. Well, the free throw shooting is certainly bumped up a notch here today for St. Ignace.
Free throws are key. They are really doing well in terms of execution. You see each player keeping to their form, and sometimes you don't see that in a game of this magnitude.
Back to a 5-point lead. Their biggest lead has been 7. Lewis in the lane. Dishes off. From the baseline, shot no good. From Crystal White, and the Saints come back the other way.
Wow, Tanae Lewis is all over the court. You see her there with a great hustle.
Well, they got a big break that time, getting the ball back, and what a rejection by Crystal White.
Oh, my. I think that was Mia Simpson. Unbelievable. Look at the timing of this play. She put that in the 9th row.
That is rather emphatic, wouldn't you say? Here's Holly Cole. She's got her first 3 of the day.
Look at Doreen Eagles. She is so excited. And again, we talked about Holly Cole being the X factor. How huge is that to hit a 3-pointer after a big emotional block?
Cole again gets it to go.
Holly Cole is a gritty player. She has got ice water in her veins.
It's an 11-2 run. And St. Ignace has opened up their biggest lead of the day, 29-19, thanks to Holly Cole. Leading by 10, our 4th game of the day coming up. It is the Class B final. Detroit Country Day takes on Flint Powers Catholic. It is the rematch of last year's final, and you want to talk about a game that everybody's been waiting for. That is the one, Detroit Country Day against Flint Powers. Join us for the action coming up at 7:30 here on Fox Sports Net, the exclusive television home of the MHSAA football and basketball championships.
Getting a good look at the Pharaohs head coach James Rogers. He's really directing this team, and they respond to him. They really do. They listen, and that's very important when you've got a group of players that have played basketball for a long time.
They haven't been behind very often either, but again, get back to that tough schedule and the teams they have played. This is a team that is not going to get flustered very easily. Here's a shot missed underneath. The putback no good, but a foul underneath.
Tanae Lewis is really leading this team. She is going hard to the basket. She's a senior. She's one of 7 seniors on this squad. And, you know, the senior leadership, there's 6 seniors on St. Ignace's squad. So which seniors want it the most?
Jessica Corbin at the free throw line. Detroit just 1 of 1 from the free throw line. And St. Ignace has been to the line 13 times, and they've made 12. And there you see it, 12 of 13 for St. Ignace. Detroit now 2 of 2 after the make. And the second one bounces off the back of the rim. Won't go for Corbin in Detroit. And the St. Ignace lead remains at 9. Andy Johnson will bring it across midcourt. Started by Ryan Coleman, 11th in the Miss Basketball balloting. Whistle and a travel, that goes on Aaron Mercer. Detroit with 5 losses, the most of anybody in the finals. Get back to their tough schedule, but you look at some of the records, especially St. Ignace, 2 losses in 2 years. We had 2 unbeaten teams in the Class A finals, and we had some great games today with some great teams. Ball knocked away, and it's going to stay Detroit ball. Outlet pass to Coleman, and the ball is tipped away by Mandy Johnson and controlled by the Saints. Johnson dishes it off. Shot from the free throw line will not go for Kelso. And Detroit has a chance at the other end. Simpson in the lane, shot will not go. Whistle and a foul underneath. And that will go against the Saints.
Boy, again, we saw a good example of the hands of Mandy Johnson. Just got in front of Ryan Coleman, was able to get the ball down court. Both teams are really playing hard defensively, and that says a lot about a player.
Corbin at the line, returns to the line after making 1 of 2. Misses the first one here. Then we'll see Krista Clement check back into the game for the Saints. Out goes Michaela Kelso. 9-point lead for St. Ignace. They have led since an 11-0 run gave them a 13-6 lead in the first. Second free throw goes, and the lead is 8. Each team in the bonus. Clement brings it across midcourt. Saints with the ball and the lead. Long range gun from the corner from Cole, and it goes again. Another turnover. Mandy Johnson steals it away. In the lane. Her shot is blocked, and a foul. Oh, boy. Sakima Smith thought she had a clean, and I did too.
Great sequence by the Saints. You saw Holly Cole hit a deep three-pointer from the corner. And then again, Mandy Johnson with the steal. And she has the presence of mind to take the ball right to the bucket. And back at the free throw line.
Third foul on Sakima Smith, another key player. Look at Hoskins and Lewis, Coleman, Smith. Look at any one of those players in foul trouble, but especially the way Sakima Smith has been playing. First free throw for Mandy Johnson is good. Mercer will come out. Megan Savard will come in for the Saints. Second free throw from Mandy Johnson is good, and it's the biggest lead of the day for the Saints. It's 13-point lead and another turnover. In backcourt, a traveling violation on Holly Cole, but the Saints now, the pressure is really starting to show, and Detroit, which had been handling it all game long, Joe, suddenly not handling it very well at all.
I wonder if it's fatigue. I wonder if they are just, you know, having a mental lapse.
Here's a player who has to probably shoot more and score more. That's Coleman. Her shot is no good, and the Saints will run the other way. Good bounce pass look in the lane now. Back to Holly Cole. Her shot no good, but she drew the foul.
That's the chance you take when you try to block a shot, is that you can be called for the foul unless that timing is perfect. We saw the Pharaohs. I mean, they're very active defensively. They're very active trying to block the shot. Mia Simpson goes up hard, but she follows through and gets Holly Cole with the body and with the arm.
Good look from Adria West to find Holly Cole on the baseline. Deshauna Hoskins will check back in, and Sakima Smith will take a seat with those 3 fouls. You would assume for the last 2:25, she will probably rest for the rest of the first half. That is a player with her size and her ability that they're going to miss. Both free throws are good, and it's a 15-point lead by St. Ignace. Now it's Carey breaking the press single-handedly. Look at her go. Shot won't go. Hoskins underneath. Has the ball knocked out of her hands, and it's going to be Saints ball. Clement in backcourt will break the press after pressure from Jasmine Carey. Holly Cole in the corner, one of her favorite spots. I'll tell you what, though, she can shoot the 3 from just about anywhere. Right corner, left corner, top of the key, it doesn't matter.
That's true.
Maureen Engel says she just loves this arena. There's Mandy Johnson with a 3 attempt, missed everything, and the ball goes out of bounds for Detroit. 15-point lead for the defending state champions. Her title last year, the first ever for an Upper Peninsula team in Class C. Girls basketball. Lewis across the way to Carey. She'll take the shot. Will not go. Mandy Johnson with another rebound. That's 8. She's going to try to go coast to coast again. Shot up, won't go. She's going to fight for the rebound, but Detroit has it. Simpson with a rebound. Ball tipped away, but controlled by Carey. Dribbling through 4 players, and she draws the foul. And did Mandy Johnson get whistled for that one? She did indeed. That's her second. Mercer, you have a good look at her, probably the best defensive player for the Saints, along with Carolyn Getson, and those two have a very unique relationship, best friends, and two of the best sprinters in the Upper Peninsula. Getson tore her ACL a year ago and came back in the spring to run track, but she didn't run the individual events. And Mercer finally, for the first time in her career, was winning individual events because her good friend Getson was running relays. They've had a great friendly competitiveness between them. And you can see why they're two of the better defensive players out here, given their speed.
Foot quickness is very important as a defensive player. Enables you to get in front of the offensive player. Like, look at the defense here.
Lewis dishes it off. Hoskins has a baseline double team. Good job to get rid of the ball to Simpson. A whistle and a 3-second violation against Detroit. Coleman got the ball to Simpson, but it was too late. The violation had already occurred, and the Saints had the ball back, leading by 15 with a minute to go here in the first half. Clement driving the lane, has the size advantage, and she takes advantage of it, laying it in. 17-point lead for St. Ignace. Now Coleman, who has been very quiet here in the first half, taking matters into her own hand, misses the shot. Clement with another rebound. And the Saints are just relentless. The dish inside to Cole. Her shot won't go, and Detroit fights for the rebound, but loses it out of bounds.
3-point land, 100% layup. No.
That's right.
Now, Holly Cole is a great all-around offensive player.
What a first half for the freshman, Krista Clement. Cole gives it back to her. Clement will try baseline, cut off by Hoskins. Now this running scoop shot will not go from Adria West, but the putback does. Megan Savard puts it back in, and the lead is 19 for the Saints. Lewis, long-range gun with the clock running out. Probably didn't need to take it that early. She took it with about 5 seconds to go. Now there's almost 4 seconds left, and the Saints, the way they push the ball up, probably will get one last shot. Krista Clement from half court won't go, but it's a 19-2 run to end the first half for St. Ignace. The defending state champions have been very, very impressive here in the first half against a team that was handling their pressure early on. Detroit CMA, Joe, and then suddenly it seemed like the pressure just got to them.
It did. I don't know if it was a fatigue, again, if it's fatigue or just that mental focus. Now, St. Ignace, their mental focus is really there in terms of free throws. You can see that by the number of free throws that they've met. They are really focused and into the game.
We are joined now by the head coach of St. Ignace, Doreen Ingalls. And Doreen, early on, Detroit was breaking your press, but you just kept with it. It looked like toward the end of that half, it finally got to Detroit.
Yeah, that's what we do. We wear on teams. We keep going. We keep going. We have, like I said, we have a great depth in our bench. We just keep going, and they end up getting wore down. They get frustrated. They start throwing those lofty passes, and that's when our other kids intercept them. We were kind of getting a little confused there at half court with 42 kind of getting the ball too easily, but then we kind of made some adjustments, and the kids made some big plays. Everybody coming off that bench has just been playing hard. They're just really clicking right now, and I couldn't be more proud. They're just playing great.
Hi, Coach Ingalls. Joe Schneider. Hey. Do you make any adjustments? Yeah, no kidding. Do you make any adjustments now for the second half?
We got to turn it up a little bit. We know we can sprint a little bit more at times. We've got, maybe my fault a little bit, not getting a quicker change out so we can get some sprinters running the lanes, but I think we can get more fast breaks in the second half, get some easy shots to fall. The kids are playing good. Of course, Holly Cole is hotter than hot right now, and that's awesome to see.
All right, Doreen, thank you.
Thank you.
Doreen Ingalls, the head coach of the St. Ignace Saints, and it was a 19-2 run, and it was an impressive run to end the first half for the defending state champions, who showed that they are indeed the defending state champions and showed why during those final few minutes. We've got a lot coming up at halftime. Stay with us on Fox Sports Net. At Rose Arena on the campus of Central Michigan, St. Ignace with an impressive 19-2 run at the end of the first half, and they've got a 19-point lead at halftime. Joe Schneider, you played for a very impressive coach at Harper Woods Regina, and it's our pleasure to talk at halftime today about Diane Laffey, your head coach. Our Trevor Thompson had a chance to visit with her, and he has more right now.
The trophy case at Regina High School is filled with hardware, compliments of various softball and basketball teams who were triumphant between the lines. But there's a common denominator behind each of these teams and trophies: the coach, the legendary Diane Laffey.
I'm not sure it's deserved. It kind of bothers me every time I hear it. I just want to be Diane Laffey, not the legendary Diane Laffey. That's better!
Although she's uncomfortable with the legendary label that is often attached to her name, Coach Laffey is indeed a legend in the hearts and minds of those she's coached, both past and present.
She's also like there for us as people. Like, I have a problem, has something to do with basketball. I know I can go to her for that. She's there for us as people too, not just as players.
Miss Laffey's more than a coach. She's like a friend. I talk to Miss Laffey every day during third hour. I come in the whirlpool and we hang out, and she's more of a friend than a coach probably.
What impresses me most about Diane Laffey is that she really cares about every player. And having played a lot of basketball, I don't know how that's possible. I mean, she really genuinely cares about each player.
All right, listen. When the pass goes to the wing, stay up on top with Shapiro. Deny the pass back to her. Listen to me. If it goes to her wing, you deny the pass back to 10.
After working the sidelines for a total of 480 wins, more than any other high school girls coach in state history, this Hall of Famer has plenty to be proud of. However, her pride does not rest in the slew of championships she's accumulated.
For the most part, I can honestly say I've dealt with very fine young ladies, and I'm proudest of that. I've had some great athletes. And you only win when you have great athletes, and I've had my share, probably more than my share, but they're good people, and I think that's the utmost important thing in my mind.
Coach Laffey credits a lot of her success and her coaching philosophy to her father and fellow Catholic League Hall of Fame coach, the late Jack Red Laffey.
As I was growing up, I got to see a lot just from sitting in the bleachers and watching things, how he dealt with guys. And one thing that I always admired about him was that his guys always felt they could call him at home, they could come to him after games. It didn't have to be necessarily everything in competition. I think he was there for them, and that's what I've tried to do with my girls, too.
It's got to be in the genes, because her dad was a successful coach, and sometimes when you grow up in that environment, it makes you a better person and a better coach because you've learned from someone else.
As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but the younger Laffey has definitely made a name for herself, but she gives the credit to her players.
I've been very blessed with very good talent. You're only as good as your kids. You're only as good as your talent. You're only as good as your team. Sometimes you can get that extra out of a team that they might overachieve, but in the long run, I think the success comes from having good athletes.
Diane Laffey never compromised her integrity to win. And I think that's one of the greatest things you can say about someone in athletics.
Especially when you can call that person your friend.
Well, Joe, she may not like the legendary status or the title. Did you feel like you were playing for a legend when you were there?
You know, I knew I did, but from talking to Diane Laffey, you wouldn't know it. She is so humble, almost to a fault. I didn't even know she was in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Well, she had some great athletes to play with, including yourself, and she's obviously had one heck of a career. It's a 19-point lead for St. Ignace, the defending champions in Class C, thanks to shots like this from Holly Cole. Dan Dickerson along with Joe Schneider. We're back at Rose Arena on the campus of Central Michigan. The St. Ignace Saints lead it by 19. And what an impressive first half it was, Joe. Early on, Detroit CMA showing they could handle the pressure. But then after that, St. Ignace pressure got to Detroit, and they just couldn't handle it for the rest of the half.
I don't know what happened. You know, it was even Steven in the beginning of the game, and then something happened to the Pharaohs. They just were not able to maintain their poise. They just couldn't break that press.
Look at some of the highlights from the first half. Here's a Holly Cole three, and those are some of the shots. Look at Ryan Clement here and the job that she did.
St. Ignace really showed a lot of poise offensively as well as defensively. They executed their game plan to a T. Dorian Ingles had this team well scouted, and the Saints, you know, they executed. What else can you say? They did what the coach asked them to do.
A little bit surprising, Ryan Coleman, not much of a factor as we look at the first half stats brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. But Ryan Coleman with just 5 points in that first half and not much of a factor. You look at the shooting, field goal percentage is not that much different, but look at the free throws, especially for St. Ignace, 16 of 17. Again, the focus, the ability to come into a state title game and hit those free throws. And these are young players. These are high school players, and they have gotten these they've practiced them, and they're hitting the free throws in a very, very important game. Nice to see when they can bring it up a level in the championship game after struggling a little bit in the semifinals. 3 players in double figures for St. Ignace in that first half as they build a 19-point lead. We've got more coming up. Analysis after this on Fox Sports Net. The first half, Dan Dickerson back with Coach Linda Harlan. And Coach, what surprised you about that first half after an even start in the first quarter?
Well, I was really surprised to see CMA kind of fold under that pressure after a few minutes. I've seen them play all year long, and people have gone at them, and they've handled a tremendous amount of pressure, whether it's King or whether it's Country Day. They've just really done a good job, and tonight they've just folded, and it's taken them out of their offense, and Ryan Coleman needs some help on offense.
She hasn't been much of a factor, has she?
No, but I think they've done a real nice job on her, and if someone else would pick it up a little and score a little, then they would have to watch someone else besides Ryan Coleman.
All right.
You can't do it by yourself.
Thanks, Coach. Coach Linda Harlan joining us here. It's a 19-point lead for St. Ignace as we get ready for the second half. Krista Clement, the freshman, a big part of that first half lead for St. Ignace. Dan Dickerson along with Joe Schneider back at Rose Arena, and we are joined now by the head coach of Detroit CMA, James Rogers. And Coach, in the first half, your team handling the pressure very well. It seemed to kind of wear you down toward the end of the half. How did you look at it?
Yeah, I think we kind of got our hustle there at the end. And at halftime, we talked about that. We talked about having a little bit more heart, a little bit more pride. And we just got to be smarter in handling the ball. We had 19 turnovers in the first half. And you just can't win basketball games that way.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
James Rogers, the head coach of Detroit CMA. And Jolynn, there's still 16 minutes of basketball. And this is a talented team that has 2 of the most talented players around on the floor in Samika Smith and Ryan Coleman. What can they do to get back in the game?
Absolutely 2 of the best players in the state. They're seniors. They want this game very badly. And they've got a whole half of basketball to play.
St. Ignace with a 1-point lead at the end of the first half. Look at the second half, scoring 22-4. Smith will bring it across midcourt for Detroit to Ryan Coleman, right side. She'll try the lane, pull-up jumper, got it. And that is the shot that James Rogers said he had to hound Ryan Coleman to take throughout her career. Says the only problem he's ever had with Ryan Coleman is that she tended to pass too much.
Exactly, and we saw Sakima bring the ball across the floor, which is kind of rare for a center. I believe that's so that we can get Ryan Coleman involved in the offense so that she has more of an opportunity to score. Here you see her in the belly, taking the ball, squaring up, and making an excellent shot at the basket, which we didn't see a lot of from her in the first half.
Again, just 5 points in the first half for one of the better players in the state. Timeout or violation? Well, Doreen Ingalls was trying to call a timeout, but instead it's a turnover by the Saints. Coleman will inbound the ball. Full court pressure. We've seen it all day from the Saints of St. Ignace. Simpson in backcourt hands it off to Coleman. Coleman with Mercer on her will cross midcourt. 17-point lead. Farrell's on the board early here in the second half. Smith driving the lane and jump ball. Good defensive work by St. Ignace.
Absolutely good position, jump ball. Sakima went hard to the basket and unfortunately had the ball too low, and that enabled Erin Mercer of St. Ignace Saints to get her hand on it and tie the ball up.
Krista Clement will bring it across midcourt. If you were just to watch this young lady play basketball, you certainly would not tell that she's a freshman. You wouldn't guess she was a freshman by any stretch of the imagination.
No, she has excellent skill. She's been well coached, well trained.
Another turnover. Here come the Saints back the other way. Evashevsky, right baseline shot from Ruard, no good. Put back, no good as well. Ruard grabs the rebound, and the Saints have it back. Long out-range gun from Clement will not go. And the Pharaohs come back the other way, still trailing by 17. Here's another turnover, thanks to quick hands of Mandy Johnson. Evashevsky across midcourt. 3-on-1 for the Saints, and she traveled. Carried the ball as she drove into the lane, and Detroit gets it back.
St. Ignace is doing a good job getting the ball down. They're very aggressive. Want to take a look closely at this replay. She palms the ball and takes a few steps.
About 3.
2 or 3.
The unrelenting pressure, but Kima Smith breaks it up ahead to Simpson, and she'll hit it. Mia Simpson banks it home. She was quiet in the first half, held scoreless. Saints lead is 15. Mandy Johnson's shot is blocked out of bounds, and the Saints will hang on to the ball. Saints with it, leading by 15. Clement right side after the inbounds from Getson. Ball knocked out of bounds, and the Saints will hang on to it. But good defensive work to start the second half by Detroit CMA. You see Doreen Engels with her husband Doug. He is the head coach of the boys basketball team in St. Ignace. They were both coaches of the year last year in Class C. And I asked her about working with her husband, and she said, well, we get to see each other a lot more now than we used to. Mercer gets the ball outside. Long-range gun from Getson won't go. Ball fought for underneath, and we've got a whistle and a foul. Carolyn Getson, 5'6" senior guard, will go to the line. As we mentioned, tore her ACL a year ago, and that was just 2 games into the season. She came back at the very end. She was still rehabbing at the end of the basketball season. But if you watched the game a year ago, you might remember at the very end, with St. Ignace leading big, she got in the final 20 seconds of the game, limped off the bench, and played just a few seconds so she could say she played in the championship game.
Wow, that's a great story.
Makes the first and makes the second. And it's back to a 17-point lead for St. Ignace. Lewis, pull-up jumper, rims out, and Mandy Johnson steals it away from 3 Pharaohs. Pushing the ball up the court. Good defensive work by Coleman, who steals it away up to Lewis, and Lewis will lay it in.
Great connection. Ryan Coleman to the other senior, Tanae Lewis.
Clement kicks it out to Holly Cole. Thought about the 3, works it inside to Mandy Johnson. She'll put up the running left-hander and hit it. Mandy Johnson hits. Coleman guarded by Mercer will get it up top to Tanae Lewis. We haven't seen a whole lot of half-court offense from either team today, and Simpson is called on the travel.
The Pharaohs look like they know what they need to do, and part of what they need to do is we've got to see that Ryan Coleman to Tanae Lewis connection. These 2 seniors have got to step it up offensively.
And because they can, Joe, there is still a chance that because these teams are known for runs based on their pressure style, there is still a chance for a run that could get them back in the game.
Oh, absolutely. The Pharaohs are not out of this ball game by any stretch of the imagination.
Turnover by Mandy Johnson, the travel. Turnover at the other end by Detroit was their 19th turnover of the game. As we mentioned, St. Ignace forces teams into almost 40 turnovers a game. Coleman across midcourt. Lewis cross court to Smith. Clement on her. Ball knocked loose, and Clement takes it away. Pushing the ball up ahead to Getson. She's going to put it up and hit it. Carolyn Getson knocks it down. And it's an 18-point lead for St. Ignace. Smith, nice feed inside by Hoskins with the miss. Nice bounce pass going to result in another basket for the Saints, and Carolyn gets it.
And St. Ignace loves it. Look at Doreen Ingalls. She is very excited. Very excited.
Another beautiful feed that Carolyn gets in from Mandy Johnson, and the St. Ignace Saints are rolling big. For St. Ignace, tomorrow we're bringing you the tailgate party, bringing it to you with NFL This Morning, the most raucous and rocking Sunday morning pregame show anywhere. Join Chris Myers, Marv Levy, and Jackie Slater, plus Jay Moore and the Breakfast Bunch. It's tomorrow at 10 a.m. only on Fox Sports Net. Well, Joe, you talk about a game of runs, an 11-0 run in the first half, a 19-2 run in the first half for St. Ignace, now an 8-2 run, and every time Detroit tries to come back, they're having a tough time doing it.
You're right. St. Ignace is just really able to keep the pressure on offensively. The Saints are, again, they're executing their game plan.
Three players.
Look at the balanced scoring attack from the three of the top St. Ignace players. And, you know, again, that's a credit to the poise of the offense and execution of the game plan.
Johnson, Clement, and Cole in double figures, and Getson now getting into the act, scoring the last couple of buckets for St. Ignace. They've opened up their biggest lead of the day. And here's another turnover. And Detroit CMA almost steals it back. They do. What a job by Lewis to keep that ball in bounds. How'd she do it? Boy, she turns back to drive baseline and draws the foul. I didn't think there was any chance at all that Tanae Lewis could keep that ball in bounds.
She came out of nowhere to steal that ball. That was amazing speed and great balance. She kind of did a tightrope act and kept the ball in bounds. And that's what the Pharaohs, that's what they need to do. They need to continue to be aggressive defensively in order to get, close the gap on this ball game.
Third foul on Mandy Johnson, who will take a seat, but probably not for long. Simpson back outside to Coleman. Long-range gun off the back of the rim. Tracked down in the corner by Krista Clement. Ahead to Mercer. Saints don't have the numbers, so Mercer will pull up and look for Clement to slow things down just a little bit, as much as the Saints ever do. Clement will take it right to the hole and drive by 3 players to lay it in.
There's no slowing down the Saints.
Other end, shot is missed by Hoskins. Battle for the rebound and a foul underneath.
Great aggressive play by the Pharaohs. They're on the boards. Here you see the Saints taking the ball in. Again, Krista Clement, the freshman, taking the ball hard and finishing the shot. And St. Ignace is just not letting up. Their pressure is relentless. They're not even looking at the scoreboard.
No, they won't. They probably won't until the fourth quarter. Sakima Smith at the free throw line, hits her first. Kayla Kelso will check back in for the Saints for Aaron Mercer. Second free throw from Smith misses long. Rebounded by the Saints, Adria West. Across midcourt, it's Kelso handing off back to West. She'll drive the lane, loses control of the ball, and then stolen away by CMA. Mia Simpson at the other end, driving on Holly Cole, can't get it to go. Gets her own miss and puts it in. Good effort.
Again, that's what the Pharaohs need to do. They need to be aggressive offensively, defensively. Ryan Coleman is the floor leader. She has got to take charge. She's got to want the ball, ask for the ball. Here she grabs a great rebound, goes up strong, hits the bucket, has an opportunity for a three-point play.
James Rogers says whenever he thinks he's seen Ryan Coleman do something that is as good as she can get, she does something else and amazes him. And he would love to see a little more of that down the stretch here at Rose Arena in Mount Pleasant. Timeout on the floor. St. Ignace is leading by 20. Talk about how much this team runs St. Ignace and how they run relentlessly from start to finish. We had a chance to talk with Doreen Engels about the practices she runs every day.
practices are amazing. You know, they go after each other and they just keep sprinting, they keep running hard, and that's what made us the team we are right now. At the beginning, it was kind of hard to, you know, get used to each other at first, just as far as the many combinations that we have, but by mid to end season, they started really gelling together nice, and that's what a good team's all about, is from the beginning to the end of the season, how much do you improve? And they work so hard together, and they're just gelling nice right now.
And Joe, I think part of the fun for Doreen Engels is the fact that she's been able to coach some of these girls since elementary school. She started out in the 5th and 6th grades in St. Ignace as a coach in the early 90s, and then moved up to JV, and then moved up to varsity 2 years ago. As we look at her mom, who has come to the game today, again battling the cancer, and I'll tell you, talking with Doreen, it just, you could tell how much it meant to her and how tough it's been. And you really do believe, as Coleman makes the free throw, she was ready to give up basketball. And her mom said, no, I'm not going to let you give up coaching this year because of me. One of the things her mom said it really helped her do, she likes to scout the teams downstate, and she said it really gave my mom a chance to do something and to get her mind on something else. Mom is downstate in the New Baltimore area, so you can imagine the commute and the miles racked up between those two, but they are here enjoying the game today, watching her daughter and the success that her team has had each of the last 2 years. Quick timeout here. Remember a year ago, St. Ignace in the finals for the first time, and Joe, it was Mandy Johnson's sister Randy.
Oh, it was the Johnson and Johnson connection. Randy Johnson was phenomenal in that title game. She's gone on to play in college and is doing great there, but she showed tremendous leadership offensively. And so Mandy, you know, is kind of taking over the reins in this year's title game, but she was a very integral part of last season's title game, and I think that that experience has really helped her today.
Her sister Randy at Lake Superior State redshirted this year, and she's in a 5-year program academically up there, so figured why not redshirt this year? I've got 4 more years of eligibility. I'm going to be here 5 years anyway, and she is expected to be a big part of that team next year.
Oh, she's a great player, great fundamentals, and I'm sure she'll contribute to the college at the college level.
Turnover by the Saints. Detroit CMA has it back, trailing by 19. Lewis to Ryan Coleman. Back to Lewis. Good man-to-man defense by the Saints. Long-range gun from Smith won't go. Good save along the baseline. Is thrown back across half court. Saved by Detroit. Shot in the lane, no good. Simpson with a follow, hits it.
Great tenacity by the Pharaohs. Look, they got the ball back.
Jessica Corbett drives to the hole, draws the foul.
Exactly what needs to happen. I think at that timeout, Coach Rogers told his squad, okay, if we've got the three-pointer, let's take it. If not, let's drive the ball hard, draw the foul.
Here come the reinforcements for the Saints. 4 players in, 4 players out. Among those coming back in, Mandy Johnson and Aaron Mercer, their best defensive player, along with Getson. Pass in the lane, knocked away by Rui.
You really do not see a change in rhythm when these big substitutions happen, and that's a credit to the discipline of the Saints.
Good defensive work by Coleman. She drives the lane and draws a foul. Excellent job by Ryan Coleman, and that's the 4th personal foul on Mandy Johnson.
That's a key statistic, the 4th foul on Johnson. Here she looks to get position. Her feet were still moving. Coleman goes hard to the basket, and now we'll be at the free throw line. And this is critical for the Saints. You see Mandy Johnson taking a seat.
4th personal foul with 1.5 minutes to go. A 1.5 minutes to go in the 3rd. And the officials now discussing whether she was in the act of shooting. I've got to believe that's, oh my goodness. There's Mandy's dad watching from the stands.
Mr. Johnson did not look happy with that call.
So it was not a shooting foul. The Detroit CMA has it down by 17. 1.5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Simpson in the lane, puts a shot up. Well, they got a break because she hits it and she'll go to the line.
See a little momentum shift here. Now the Pharaohs, again, attacking the ball, attacking the hoop. And the Saints have caught themselves a little bit out of position. That's 2 times back-to-back down the floor.
Simpson trying to cut what was a 21-point lead to 14, and she does. Well, now CMA will once again go to full court pressure, cause another turnover. Ball knocked loose along the baseline, and it will be Saints ball. Boy, if Simpson could have held on to that instead of knocking it off her own foot, she had a chance to put it right back in.
If the Pharaohs can be successful with this press, this will really be instrumental in starting a comeback.
They are all over the Saints right now. Coleman again knocks the ball out of bounds. Now they'll try the long outlet pass, and that's the way to break pressure. Mercer driving on Simpson, picks up her dribble, looking for a little help right now. And she is in danger of getting the 5-second call, and that's exactly what happens. No help from her teammates.
You know, 14 points is not a huge stretch. It's not a huge spread. And again, with the Pharaohs, they've got the ball. It's a minute 12 in the third. They have plenty of time to get back into this ball game.
9-0 run by Detroit CMA. They certainly have the athletes to get back into a game. Driving baseline, Corbett shot, no good. Referees letting a lot go, a lot of contact, no whistle. Ball pushed up ahead. Ruig has it to Mercer. Her shot is blocked by Simpson. Ruig gets it back to Getson. Good heads-up play.
The Pharaohs have really stepped it up defensively.
They sure have. Mercer outside will step up to the free throw line, miss the shot. Follow her own miss and put it in.
Incredible putback. Aaron Mercer did that in the air.
At the other end, Corbett puts it in and draws the foul. Jessica Corbett, one of the 7 seniors on this team. Good aggressive move.
Great shot by Mercer, and look at the presence of mind to catch the ball in the air. That's a very difficult move in basketball, to catch the ball, stay in the air, and shoot it. And on the other end of the floor, we see St. Ignace trying to get position defensively, but the Pharaohs, again, aggressively going to the basket, and Jessica Corbett went strong, hit the bucket. Now she has an opportunity for a 3-point play.
And she completes it. If you get this down to 10 at the end of the third quarter, we might have a ball game in the fourth. Getson breaks the pressure. 3-on-1. Holly Cole from 10 feet. Hits it. 13 seconds to go in the third quarter. Smith's pass is knocked away, and it's out of bounds. Detroit CMA ball.
Sakima Smith did a good job that time bringing the ball up. She found herself handling the ball at half court, took it to the 3-point line, and tried to hit her open teammate.
Coleman's bank shot won't go. Krista Clement tracks it down in the corner. Ball knocked out of her hands, but Saints will retain possession with just about 4 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Well, Doreen Engels will take the opportunity to give a couple players a few extra seconds of rest. She's talked about how she's going to substitute in this game differently. Good offensive players in certain instances. Ball turned over, and at the buzzer, the ball will go. Oh, it took a trip around the rim, but wouldn't fall for Sakima Smith. And that would have been a big bucket for Detroit CMA.
Tremendous effort by Smith. She really went after that ball. She went to the rim hard.
How did that ball not go in? Look at it hang on the rim. And it finally died. So a 19-point lead has been cut to 15. St. Ignace trying to hold on for back-to-back state championships when we come back on Fox Sports Net. Coming up later tonight, it's the 11 o'clock Regional Sports Report, delivering 30 minutes of sports news dedicated to Detroit's home teams. The 11 o'clock Regional Sports Report tonight on Fox Sports Net. You've got Michigan State playing some college basketball today. Wings trying to go for the sweep in Florida, beat the Panthers, play Tampa Bay tonight, and of course, full recap of the events here today. We're in game 3 of the State Girls Basketball Championships, Class C. St. Ignace now 8 minutes away from defending their state title of a year ago. There's Doreen Engels, hoping these 8 minutes go quickly. Tell you, the Detroit CMA fans sure haven't given up. Both teams have good fan bases here, and both up cheering madly for their teams at the start of this quarter. Detroit looked like a different team at the end of the third quarter, but they'd fallen behind by 21. They've got a long way to go. Lewis spinning in the lane. Great feed to Corbett for 2.
Great court presence by Tanae Lewis.
Getson breaks the pressure with a long outlet pass. Her pass inside, knocked away. Holly Cole had it, but she was standing on the baseline.
Boy, the Pharaohs really need to be offensive, attack the offense, and here you see a great pass. Tanae Lewis, she's the senior leader, the point guard. She's the one that's got to make things happen along with Ryan Coleman.
Well, that's one of the better half-court sets they've run today, certainly. Lewis looking inside again, and again she finds Corbett.
Jessica Corbett, another senior. These seniors, it's going to come down to, Dan, who wants it the most.
Andy Johnson drives, puts it up, got it, and she got the foul. Playing with 4 fouls, but she didn't look like it that time. Not cautious at all.
Not cautious, and just great balance and presence of mind to not only drive hard with the left hand, feel the contact, still scoop the ball, hit it, kiss it off the glass, and a perfect angle. That's a very difficult shot.
14 points from Andy Johnson. Perfect from the free throw line, 8 of 8. And that was a big bucket because St. Ignace had seen a 21-point lead cut to 11. Now back up to 14, and Mandy Johnson will take a seat and get a word from her coach, Doreen Engels. Lewis will bring it across midcourt. Kima Smith has it right side. Knocked away by Getson, but she can't hang on to it. Out of bounds, and Detroit CMA will get it back.
Gets in a great position. She had her hand in the passing lane. She was able to knock that ball away. The Saints are playing aggressive defensively, and the Pharaohs are playing aggressive offensively. And so it really, again, is going to come down to a battle of wills.
Another bucket, this time from Smith. Great pressure in backcourt, and the Saints somehow get out of it, but they throw the ball away. And Detroit CMA will get it back. Well, James Rogers is really riding his starters right now. He's not going to his bench. He's going to see what his 5 senior starters can do. And they have really picked it up a notch over the last 6 minutes or so. Smith will bring it across midcourt. She's been doing this in the second half, trying to free up some offensive room at the other end for her teammate Ryan Coleman and her good friend. Here's Lewis. Won't go. Put back. Corbett again.
Fantastic. You know, as a senior, again, Corbett, we're seeing great attacking offense from the seniors, and you really want to be on the floor in a state championship game as a senior.
Block at the other end from Detroit. Simpson right side. It's down to a 10-point lead. And there is still a lot of time for Detroit. Coleman. Won't go from 3-point range. Almost got it back, but Mercer has it for St. Ignace. She'll drive against Smith and won't get it, but she will draw the foul.
The Pharaohs, again, attacking the ball hard. There's Tanae Lewis and Jessica Corbett going strong. She has really been a factor in the last few minutes. Other end of the floor, we see the Saints taking the ball hard. Another senior. We're seeing the seniors really go hard and attack the ball, attack the basket offensively. You know what? They realize this is their final opportunity to win a state championship.
It's a real motivation when you're a senior, isn't it? You know there's no next year.
You look at the clock and you see 5 minutes and 43 seconds until the end of your high school career. You know you've got to leave it all on the floor.
James Rogers going to his bench with Sakima Smith now in foul trouble with her 4th. Mandy Johnson has 4 for the Saints. Mercer hits a couple of free throws. Big free throws. Leaded them cut to 10. Block at the other end. Nice job. Evashevsky saves it to Mercer. Evashevsky with a block and the save. And Mercer now will slow things down to Holly Cole. Clement will drive the lane and dish it off, but before she did, she drew the foul.
We're seeing both teams just step it up offensively as well as defensively. The Pharaohs take the ball hard, but there's St. Ignace right in position defensively. Great balance, great athleticism to get the ball, maintain possession. And now we see St. Ignace running a half-court set. If they can maintain possession offensively, that's really going to help them.
Well, their whole mindset is attack, 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 but I've got to believe now they want to run some clock on some of these possessions.
Exactly.
Coleman with the block, and then she draws the foul.
St. Ignace, here we see Holly Cole attempt a good shot, and Ryan Coleman is there. And again, you know, we talked about what a great player Ryan Coleman is offensively, but defensively, she is fabulous. And Coach Rogers made a point of talking about that yesterday, that people don't know what a great defensive player Ryan Coleman is. Sure, she gets lots of accolades for being a great offensive player.
Really kind of baited Cole into that shot, didn't she?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
She knew.
She knew she had the jumping ability to block it.
Once again with a chance to cut the Saints lead down to 10. St. Ignace has been up by as many as 21, and she makes the first. 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Coleman with 13 points and 5 rebounds and a few blocks thrown in for good measure. In and out, and the ball goes out of bounds off of Hoskins of Detroit CMA. 11-point lead. Big time pressure in backcourt. Mandy Johnson almost has the ball knocked away, but gets it ahead to Clement. She'll drive left side of the lane, try to put it up against Simpson, and draws a foul. Second on Simpson. St. Ignace is not going to change their style, are they?
No, they're not. And they do a good job under pressure in terms of passing the ball out of a trap. Mandy Johnson was able to throw. It wasn't a great pass, but her team, she knows her teammates so well that she knew where they would be on the floor.
Evashevsky inbounds to Kelso. Her shot goes.
Another senior with a nice, strong, aggressive offensive move.
Look at Jasmine Carey break that pressure and dish off. Oh, would have been perfect way to finish that drive off, but Hoskins can't get it to go. Now the Saints running the other end. Mercer will put it up. Her shot too strong. Good, strong offensive board and put back.
Wow!
Kayla Kelso. Corbett at the other end called for dragging the pivot foot, and things have turned around in this game in a hurry.
Mercer's going strong with the left hand, and here you see it. Another senior just flying in. She gets a great rebound, great, strong, aggressive move.
Gail,
get a shot of
Gail and Emery Archambault enjoying the action here as they watch their daughter, Doreen Ingalls, the head coach of St. Ignace, go for her second straight state championship in Class C. Shot block at the other end. Ball is loose, and Corbett has it for Detroit CMA. Quickly back the other way. Coleman can't get it to go off glass. Evashevsky ahead to Mercer. Saints continue to pressure. Evashevsky gets it back. Her shot won't go. Rebounded by Corbett. Stolen away by Mercer. Whistle and a foul, and that's going to go on Corbett. Timeout on the floor. St. Ignace has weathered the storm. Detroit cut the lead to 10. But the Saints have answered back and lead it by 15. Dan Dickerson along with Joe Schneider as we get ready for the last 3:45 in the Class C state championship girls basketball. Rose Arena in Mount Pleasant on the campus of CMU. St. Ignace led early in this game, built their lead up to 19 points at the half, and just been very, very impressed, Joe, with the way Detroit CMA has battled back throughout the second half. They may not ever knot this game up with 3:45 to go, but the effort certainly has to be appreciated.
Oh, they've really showed heart. They've stayed aggressive. They stayed in the ball game, and they could turn it around. There's still time.
Adria West inbounds the ball. Allie Cole right side. Megan Savard has it. Picks up her dribble, looking for a little bit of help. She'll get it off baseline to Kelso, and whistle and a foul on the Saints, an offensive foul. Kelso whistled for the foul. That's her second.
St. Ignace executing their offense, their half-court offense. Kelso takes the ball hard, has a little interaction with the foam part of the backboard.
Position underneath, and it looked definitely like she pushed off. Here's Jasmine Carey, again, just a freshman, and I tell you, she can become an offensive force shooting the ball. Just watching her ball handling skills, she is really going to be fun to watch. Fun to watch right now as a freshman.
She says, "What press?"
Whoa, long-range gun of 3 for Sakima Smith.
The Pharaohs really need to hit some three-pointers now if they're going to get back into the ball game. And Sakima Smith, the senior, steps up, hits the three-pointer.
Boy, to hit that shot on the move like that, that's a big-time shot. She's going to Bowling Green next year, her teammate. Was that a foul on Smith?
Sakima Smith fouled out of the game.
So that is her 5th, right after hitting the 3. And that's a killer. You can just see it on her face. She wanted to play these last 3:45 after the break, 3 minutes now. And it's killing her not to be in the game. We mentioned she's going to Bowling Green next year. Good friend Ryan Coleman is headed to Long Beach State. First free throw here is hit by Adria West. And the lead is back to 13 for St. Ignace, but that is a huge, huge loss to lose Sakima Smith in the game she's having and has had in 16 points.
Yeah, she's really been a momentum player here tonight, and it's a big, big loss for the Pharaohs.
West hits her second, checks out of the game. Look at the reception she gets from her teammates. I'll tell you, that's the one thing that's really struck me about this team. Ball thrown out of bounds and turned over again. Very positive team, very supportive team. Seems to be a reflection of their coach, but talking with Mandy Johnson about it as well. She said, we just like each other, and we have a good time together. Here's Ruig in the lane for Johnson. Her shot won't go, fighting for the rebound. Mercer puts it back in. And St. Ignace starting to pull away again. Coleman at the other end. Pull-up jumper off glass won't go, and Mandy Johnson has another rebound.
Look at the poise of Mandy Johnson. She was surrounded by purple jerseys and was still able to dribble out of the press and make a good pass.
Holly Cole's shot, a little wild, but to her credit, she tracks down the tip and gets it to Mandy Johnson. Mandy Johnson and Ryan Coleman out near midcourt together, the two best players on the floor here today. And we've enjoyed watching both of them. Whistle and a foul. Holly Cole will go to the line. Carey gets whistled for the foul. She will check out of the game. Leah Simpson back in. Holly Cole at the free throw line. This is where St. Ignace has excelled today, at the free throw line. I believe they've only missed a couple all day. second free throw goes for Holly Cole. And St. Ignace has opened up an 18-point lead with 2 minutes to go. They are 2 minutes away from repeating as champions of Class C. Lewis tries to get the ball inside to Simpson. Out of bounds, knocked away by the Saints. Good defensive work inside by Megan Savard. And now Doreen Engels gets a chance to go to her bench and get some players in who haven't had a chance to play a whole lot this year. Melissa Massaway coming into the ball game. Long-range gun from Coleman goes.
Need to see a few more of those in the next minute 46.
Mandy Johnson breaks the pressure all on her own. Drives into the lane, dishes off, blocking foul underneath on Simpson. So Mandy Johnson, a junior, will get a chance to come back again next year. And I was indeed correct. Not even 2 misses today. 25 of 26 from the free throw line. Make it 26 of 27 as Mandy hits another. Fantastic.
That is incredible. That's tremendous, tremendous shooting.
Might send us to the record books. Find out if anybody has come close to a performance like this in the finals. 27 of 28 from the free throw line, and you look at this 17-point lead, and you realize it's largely on the part of their free throw shooting.
Absolutely, and it's not to say they don't have distractions. They're, you know, both ends of the floor. There are fans behind the hoop, and this is not an easy bucket to shoot free throws at either side. But they're really well practiced in the art of free throw shooting.
Semifinal games, we were watching teams really struggle from the free throw line. Some making just barely over half from the free throw line. Miss, put back, no. And the freshman Clement has it crossing midcourt. Driving the lane, she's bumped, puts it in, basket counts. And she draws the foul from Brandy Taylor.
That is such a fun play in basketball. The possibility of a three-point play. She goes hard to the basket, gets the contact, makes the basket. Now she has a chance to hit a free throw.
Krista Clement with 16 points. Boy, what a final run she has had in these last few games. 17 points in the quarterfinals, 14 points in the semis, 16 points here today. And her teammates might get on her a little bit, Joe, because she's got the only miss from the free throw line today. Even though she's hit 4 or 5. 27 of 28 as a team for St. Ignace. Semifinals, they were 19 of 27. And the miss here. 19-point lead for St. Ignace. Coleman across midcourt. We're down to the last minute 10. Long-range gun won't go. Put back by Corbett won't go. Simpson's put back won't go either, but she draws the foul. And Detroit CMA and their head coach, James Rogers, have a lot to be proud of. Here comes Mandy Johnson out of the game. Oh, she was on her way out. And she's not going to exit just yet. But the crowd from St. Ignace across the way. There we go. Now she checks out and listen to the roar.
And look at the reception from Coach Doreen Ingalls and Dad looking on. What a great game. Great leadership by Mandy Johnson.
17 points and 11 rebounds, and what a force she was in the glass, especially in the first half. Very, very appealing young lady. And Doreen Ingalls has to love the idea, as her dad looks on, of having her back next year. And Doreen Ingalls trying to keep her emotions in check right now. And another heck of a run for St. Ignace. 1 loss last year, just 1 loss this year.
This from a coach who didn't even know she was going to coach this season. She spent the whole summer with her mother.
Traveling call at the other end. Really gave a lot of credit to her husband, Doug. kind of running team practices while she was gone. Summer is a critical time for camps and workouts, and she said her team really did it on their own a lot of the time. Took it upon themselves. Krista Clement checks out of the game. Big hug from her head coach. Lots of smiles along that Saints bench. Just a freshman. Traveling call at the other end on Ryan Coleman. And now Doreen Engels continues to empty her bench. Whistle in backcourt. And timeout. Doreen Engels wants to get some of her players from the end of the bench into the game and take out people like Aaron Mercer, the senior, who has been such a force defensively. Donna Kelso will also check out. Well, we've got a great game coming up. 7:30 tonight. It's the Class B finals. Flint Powers against Detroit Country Day, and anybody who saw the game a year ago won't forget that finish. Country Day winning on a last-second shot, and Flint Powers has a chance to get back at their rival from Country Day in the finals tonight. Earlier today, Class D and Class A finals have been completed. We had a couple of undefeated teams in Class A. Lansing Everett takes it 54-50 over Detroit Martin Luther King, and in the Class D game it was Portland St. Patrick over Rapid River by 6. And a fun day of basketball here at Rose Arena. We've got a great wrap-up in Class B with Powers against DCD. Pressure forces a turnover, a miss at the other end for Detroit, though. St. Ignace having fun, emptying their bench. Good putback that time.
But the Pharaohs are staying in it. They have not given up. Relentless pressure, full court.
Jennifer Sword in the game, Samantha Linsner, Melissa Massaway. A lot of players who don't get a chance to play a whole lot. Jessica Martin into the game as well. Last 10 seconds. And the crowd on their feet here at Rose Arena. Ball loose underneath, jump ball. Possession arrow will go Saints' way. One last substitution. Marielle Calcaterra gets a chance to play the last 5 seconds in the championship game, and that means everybody off the bench for the Saints has had a chance to play here in the championship game against Detroit CMA.
Hooray, that is great to see. And what great memories for these Saint players. They had the opportunity to play in the state championship victory.
Whistle and a foul, so with just a fraction under 4 seconds to go, Melissa Massaway will get a chance to go to the free throw line. First trip to the finals for the Pharaohs, and they acquitted themselves well after falling behind big here. They rallied late. First free throw good, and look at the reaction of her teammates.
Great emotion on both sides. It's wonderful to win, and it's so hard to lose.
Second one won't stay down, and the final seconds will tick away, and St. Ignace has repeated as champions of Class C. And her teammates celebrate at half court. They have repeated as champions. We'll have a chance to talk with their head coach when we come back here on Fox Sports Net. St. Ignace has repeated as champions of Class C. We'd like to remind all our viewers that Red Wings Weekly is coming up next here on Fox Sports Net. Right now, let's join public address announcer Joe Mitchell as the medals are presented for today's finalists.
Number 33, Jessica Corbett. Number 35, Larissa Spivey. Number 40, Megan Mason. Number 50, Jasmine Carey. Number 52, Miriam Leslie. Number 54, Brandy Taylor. And now for the Faro starters, 00, Deshauna Hoskins. Number 10, Tanae Lewis. Number 20, Ryan Coleman. Number 30, Mia Simpson. Number 42, Sakima Smith. And accepting the runner-up trophy in Class C is Coach James Rogers. Our congratulations to the Pharaohs of Detroit Communications and Media Arts High School on an outstanding season.
Thank you.
Well, we've talked about the story about Doreen Engel's mother, Gail Archambault, and here they are moments ago after the game, celebrating another win. Motivation for this team all year long. And provides it day to day, on and off the court for Doreen Engels. And you see her there, blinking back the tears and maybe not even blinking them back anymore. She's there with her husband, Doug. Let's tune in again to PA announcer Joe Mitchell.
Number 14, Marielle Calcaterra. Number 20, Adria West. Number 30, Samantha Litzner. Number 34, Holly Cole. Number 42, Megan Savard. Number 50, Michaela Kelso. Number 52, Jessica Martin. Number 54, Jennifer Sword. And for the same starters, number 22, Krista Clement. Number 24, Carolyn Getson. Number 32, Emily Abashevsky. Number 40, Erin Mercer. And number 44, Mandy Johnson. And accepting the championship trophy is Coach Doreen Engel. Our congratulations to the Saints of St. Ignace, the 2000 Class C Girls Basketball Champions.
Game coming up, it's Class B, Detroit Country Day taking on Flint Powers Catholic. Live coverage coming up at 7:30 tonight. Now for Jolene Schneider, Mickey York, and Linda Harlan, I'm Dan Dickerson saying so long from Rose Arena in Mount Pleasant. Once again, the final score in our Class C championship game St. Ignace over Detroit CMA 74-56, and they repeat as state champions with just 2 losses in the last 2 years. You've been watching high school basketball on Fox Sports Net, your exclusive television home of MHSAA football basketball championships. We'll see you back here at 7:30. Now stay tuned. Red Wings Weekly is coming up next right here on Fox Sports Net.
Truck starts the clock. When we get both teams on the floor. Truck starts the clock. Truck has got to start the clock. Fine.